an advocate for inclusion for women, for all women. What lessons, but also practical tips, can an organization learn from your journey about representation, visibility, and inclusion in the workplace?
Dumelang, first of all. Hello, can people be alive in this room? Hello, thank you. Hello, please. You know, this is your day. Everybody's so serious, you know. I know we're having a serious conversation, but please, man, corporate for you. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here. You asked such a big question about inclusivity, how I balance everything. Firstly, I like what Dr. Penny mentioned in terms about mental health. But I think the biggest thing that hit me here was when Dr. Modiselle spoke about purpose.
Yeah.
Purpose is such a big thing. Yes, you can fight for inclusivity in spaces, but if you have not identified why it is that you're doing something, then there's no reason and vision in where it is that you're going. And I think it starts with self-mastery. And self-mastery is literally sitting with yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror and being very, very honest about parts about yourself that you need to work on. If you don't start with self, then there's no sense of direction. There's no sense of knowing where exactly that you need to go just in life. And I think that's been my strongest point, is taking the time, the space, the intention to literally sit down with yourself, look at the parts of you that you even do not like, and address those things, and to be brutally honest in the kind of person that you're representing out there. Once you have established those parts of yourself, it then works into purpose. It then works into the aspect of mental health and finding what it is that you're actually fighting for in life. And one of the things that I've learned is, yes, like I think it was Violet Emerson, all my life I had to fight. I've been through that all my entire life, but I guess that's also the ebb of a woman. For me, it's twice been that much. And that's only because I'm able to identify and say, Lord, you've given me a vision. What is this vision in my life? And I said, Lord, you know why? Because you also need to have a spiritual backbone. I said, we have all these things that we speak about, but where are you actually starting? With your self-mastery, it is the backbone that you carry. Where are you spiritually? We all believe in different things, but what is it that you're leaning into that speaks to you in the morning, that wakes you up and actually says, I understand why I'm here. I understand what my spirit of discernment comes from when I look at things in a different avenue, as opposed to a person that hasn't sat down and done the work to actually lean onto something. So it is very important holistically. I say everything begins with, what is it that you lean into? Where are you at the core of your being and saying, what is this belief system that is guiding me to a place that even I wouldn't have imagined? You know, a lot of people think that I planned everything within my life. I'm known as Africa's first successful model with albinism. I'm an award-winning actress. There are all these accolades. The author of the first kind of its book in South Africa, in the world, which is a children's book for education. But I'm guided by spirit. Everything that I've done wasn't because I needed to point a proof to anybody. It's because from a very young age, spirit has been instilled. But yes, you can go to church. Yes, you can do all these things, but your relationship with what your belief is important, and what guides you to where it is that you need to be. So essentially, yes, as women, we have all these battles, we can fight, blah, 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 but your inner, what's actually helping you and what are you leaning into? So those things have been a guidance point into giving me a vision into where it is I'm going in life, into recognizing, because once you have that as well, you are able to recognize the parts that you're supposed to play in, right? Everybody's given a role in life, and you haven't even identified that role because you can't hear what's speaking to you. Then where are you going? So I think that's just very key when it comes to just the fact of identifying the whole inclusivity thing. It was just being able to have a vision, to know where my place is in the world, and being very intentional. Because, you know, God doesn't do things by mistakes. That's one thing for sure. And I think that's what we need to also realize, you know, in whatever it is that we want to champion in life, is what are you leading into? You know, what is the vision for your life? And what is this thing that draws you to speak even further, to speak to your purpose, to speak to also your mental health as well.
Yeah.